chosen an excellent resting place. Enter, and in the darkness you will find me.
Hello everyone, welcome back to I Create For You. We're going to do another ghost story in the Yellowstone Ghost Stories book. And this one's called, I have no idea if I'm going to be pronouncing this right, but the Great Absaroka Defiance. Absaroka, I believe, is a tribe, a native tribe. So I apologize if I am not pronouncing that correctly, but that is what I'm going to be having trouble with. Okay. Although there is no real historical documentation of the following story, some say it is a legend shared among the Absaroka tribes for many years. It is written as it might have been told by an old chief to his children. In a time long ago, our people camped and hunted in the land of the great Yellowstone. They revered spouting waters and hissing steam. The giant mountains were havens for our ancestors' spirits, for from the peaks one could see far into the next world. Surrounded by these mountains, our people felt safe and secure, for it was here that their own grandfathers had camped and hunted. It was here where their grandmothers raised strong sons and daughters. It was here along the Yellowstone River they were one with their generous Mother Earth. The Absaroka did not believe the earth belonged to them, but rather they belonged to her. The mountains and meadows were sacred with holy reflections of those ancestors who went before. They shared the earth with every living creature. To our people, all creatures are brothers, and we are equal to all living things on Mother Earth. As the white men came westward, they found Yellowstone. The government in Washington soon felt struggles with our people. So the army leaders sent men to sit in council with the leaders of the Absaroka, and a treaty was written on white man's paper. On this paper, boundaries were set for the Crow Indian Nation, and land along the Yellowstone River was given to us. The land stretched as far as the tops of the great Absaroka Mountains. It was not long before the white man's treaty was forgotten, and soon more white men came. This caused more fighting, so the army sent troops. They pushed and crowded our once mighty and proud people to flat, barren lands with poor fishing and few buffalo. As our people were corralled by the soldiers, a band of warriors escaped and took refuge along the upper Yellowstone. Learning of this, the soldiers chased them. The government wanted to keep all of our people on the reservation according to the white man's treaty. They felt that the warrior braves should be punished for escaping the reservation. After many days of being chased and many nights without sleep, there were only a few warriors still alive. One evening in council, it was decided they should run no more. The brave warriors gathered at the head of the Grand Canyon of the Great Yellowstone River, and there each warrior, young and old, agreed to take his own life rather than surrender to the white man and live caged on the reservation. Days passed, and together they built a fine raft from the trunks of the lodgepole pines growing along the Yellowstone. When it was finished, they carried it to the brink of the lower falls. There they shared many favorite stories of wisdom from their fathers and favorite stories and grandfathers before them. But those days were not to last. From a distance they could hear the thunder of horses and knew the white soldiers were coming. It was now time to be carried to their demise as they had planned. When the sun awakened them the next morning, each warrior took his place on the raft and pushed off into the rushing waters. Prepared to meet the Great Father and their ancestors, They rode the swift current that took them to the next world. Those with guns shot them off in defiance against all in captivity, while the white soldiers standing on the riverbank looked in bewilderment. The warriors had chosen the ultimate escape, and turning to their enemy with great defiance, they chanted their last song and stood tall as the rush of the rapids sent them surging 308 feet to the rocks below. As seasons pass, the legend remains. Each time you stand in one of the great lower falls of the Yellowstone, feel the power and strength of our warriors. Hear their echoing chants of freedom and prayers for peace. Look for the faces of the brave warrior spirits who stood together in defiance of injustice and who chose eternal freedom that morning in Yellowstone. That's kind of a real sad story. Being part native does not sit well. So we shall try to draw a depiction of them in their final times. I don't know, have any of you ever heard of this story? I have not heard of that tribe, but I will be looking it up to see a little more about them. So they must have been close to the Crow Nation if the Crow Nation's land was given to them. So I will have to dig deep into that one. So I'm going to try to, I'll bring you down a little bit. There we go. And so the Absaroka had a mountain, so I'm going to draw a mountain the best way I can. You know what? I'm going to go down just a little further because I want to draw a spirit above the waterfall. Okay. Actually, I should have looked this up so I could have seen what the actual waterfall looked like. But in my mind, this is how I am doing it, so. That's at the bottom of the waterfall where, you know, they always have the water spritzing up and everything. That's just the way I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to make this the dark mountain. Okay. I think we have like maybe 2 or 3 more stories left in that book. And then we're gonna just have the work on the presidents, getting them done. I'm not gonna do all of the presidents. I'm having a hard time right now because, you know, Mark isn't able to help me do the readings. Usually I would have him, no, I shouldn't say usually, but the thing was going to be he would read the story as I did the illustration, but life happens, so I will be doing both for a while. So I'm trying to get the ones that aren't so, how can I put it, so long. Okay, now what I'm going to try to do here is make a warrior just standing with his shield and arrow, and or war stick, I should say. The sticks that they use when they ride the horses in battle, with the arrow in the end. Those. I'm just going to have him standing up here because it was warriors who actually took the plunge. So that's a lot of lives lost and a lot of loss to their families. Let me see here. Start up this way. And I'm not going to do the face and everything like that because, you know, that's just me. I'm not that talented. I might make it like a silhouette too. Just bear with me as I try to do this some justice here. And in this arm, he'll hold up his shield. Speaking of Native American, I'd like to get into my beading again. I used to do some beading of bracelets and stuff. And I did a beaded hat I guess it was not last month, but the month before. I beaded the brim of a hat. I don't even know if I even showed that to anybody on YouTube. I don't think I did. Or Facebook for that matter, but great warrior spirit at the top of the falls with his shield. That looks a little better that way. Watching over all those who sacrifice themselves for the cause. And there he is, the great spirit warrior. Standing over the falls where they lost their lives. Alrighty. And that's the end of that story. And we shall be moving on to the next one and the next one, but not until Friday, because whatever Wednesday is next. And I was upset because I went to go to Michael's today, and they have, you know, the scratch art that I was doing. I saw that they had Halloween versions of the scratch art. So I went to our local, or closest Michael's that we have. And unfortunately, when I went there, they said they were all sold out. So I couldn't get any for Wednesday. I was all excited for that. And actually, Mark said he was going to try to do some with me. But doesn't look like that's what we're doing, unless tomorrow I can get online and see if I can order any and have any brought here. But I don't think they'd be here by Wednesday anyway. Okay, so I have no idea what we're going to do on Wednesday, because that's what I had planned, but we'll see what comes up, and we'll enjoy it, because we'll enjoy each other's company, and we'll enjoy the content, and you're going to enjoy it so much by leaving a like on this one. For the next one, I'm going to zoom you out a little bit here so my thumbs aren't poking you right in the eyeballs. But please give me a thumbs up, comment, tell me what you think about this story, and if you've heard anything close to that, or if you even know about that tribe, and share and subscribe. Please subscribe. I'm so close to an even 100. I only have 4 more to go to get to 100, so tell your friends. I mean, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and it really helps out the channel. And with all that being said, I shall see you guys hopefully on whatever Wednesday. See you soon. Bye-bye for now. Thank you.